everybody, and welcome back to another Moody Mare Diaries vlog.
So this is just a bit more of an informative vlog for anyone who's a bit new to competing and is wanting to start the 2022 season but doesn't really know where to start.
Yeah.
So yeah, this time last year we definitely could have done with a lot of tips and tricks and
I know.
what to
I
know.
think that like everyone kind of knows what to get out doing when they're going show jumping or just unaffiliated dressage shows and things like that. Like it's the basics. But when you're going showing workers, where there's a bit more rules to take in, and everyone's a bit more strict, and eventing where you're actually affiliated, then it's quite impressive like how much knowledge you have to know.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just here to try and like make it seem a little bit simpler and just kind of explain like what we wish we knew.
But a wee PSA that we are still learning, like we don't actually know everything, so if we're wrong with anything we're saying, let us know, or if there's other things you want to add to it, then just say in the comments.
Yeah, definitely, and that will help everybody as well. Okay, so we're going to start with eventing. I only started eventing last year in July, and I've only ever done 2 events, so we don't actually know all that much, but I did learn as I go a wee bit, and this will help Clare out as well for her first event this year. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so the memberships and everything is actually quite complicated, and some people go on the website and just don't have a clue what's going on. So generally the pay-as-you-go option is the best for people that are just starting up, because then your membership costs £30, but you also need to then pay £67 for your horse.
I think it's expensive.
It's so expensive. So that adds up to £97, and that is before you enter an event. So yeah, it is very expensive. So if you can pay that part early on in the year, then that's
You're so
handy.
dramatic sometimes.
It is. It's expensive.
It just made me laugh when you were like... And that is before you even enter an event.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. That's what you did.
Not wrong.
Anyway.
So yeah, that is before you even enter an event, and when you enter an event, it's like... What is so funny? What's so funny? I'm going to scrap you from this, honestly. So yeah, the actual event itself will cost like 120-ish per event.
Yeah, that's not including your membership though.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, that's on top of the membership. And then I think it will cost about 120-ish. But if you get the full membership, then that would be minus £15. Very complicated. However,
so what do you get for like what kind of membership do you get for like people of my level, like a 4-star, 5-star event rider?
So you need to pay £275.
Oh my god! You'd think you'd get money off for being talented, eh?
I know. Oh my god! Wait, that's just for you, and then for your horse, it can be like up to like £180 on top of that before you enter an event.
That's expensive. I suppose
Never
if you're taking it really
5-star.
seriously, then you wouldn't mind spending that, would you?
Suppose
But it's like
you
all
must
the
have money
smaller
if you're
shows
doing
that we're spending on top of then wanting to event too, which just like adds up a lot.
But yeah, if you want to do qualifiers though, that's the only thing that the pay-as-you-go membership isn't allowed for. Does that make sense? No, not really.
What are you trying to say?
You can't do qualifiers if you have the pay-as-you-go membership.
Okay.
The cheap one. So if you do want to do qualifiers, if you think your horse is capable of getting into the BE80 championships or even the BE90, if that's where you're starting at, then you will need to get the how do you say that word?
Introductory
membership, which is £80, and then you pay for your horse on top of that, which is £67.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not too
for
bad.
A whole year.
And once you actually like get onto the website and figure it out, it becomes easier.
Okay, so for what I know about BE, you have to pick your first one correctly. So like pick a nice, like easygoing, not too hilly, not too scary.
Yeah, there's definitely some that are easier than others. Yeah. My personal favourite in Scotland, not that I've done many at all, but from what I've heard, I think Forgandenny is really good.
Yeah, that's the one I plan on taking Jade to. So.
Yeah, definitely. So there is a website called Shoestring Eventing, and if you want to have a look at all your possibilities of courses and stuff, then you can have a wee look, and it shows all the jumps in them, and then you can kind of decide
it shows
whether...
the whole course. Like, you can walk through the course basically, and it has pictures of every single jump, and it has like everywhere.
Courses are usually available to walk from like the Friday if you're on Saturday or Sunday, or if you're on Sunday you could walk at the Saturday as well. But if it is further away and you can't really go the day before, then if you arrive on the Sunday morning, I think your kind of best thing to do is arrive mega early and get walking the cross-country course first of all.
But PSA, the show jumping does change often. Like, they actually change the course. Because
Yeah,
remember, we were starting to learn, weren't we?
Yeah, we were learning the Saturday one, but that was going to change for the Sunday. But yeah, if you arrive on the same day, then go walk the cross-country course, and then go and walk the show jumping if you've not got much time between your dressage and your show jumping, because then at least it's learned and you don't need to think about that later on.
Because you just stayed... No, you didn't stay on, did you? You changed them.
Yeah, I changed,
but very quickly, wasn't it?
So what else I was going to say is timing can differ quite dramatically. So in my 2 events, I've had like my dressage has been at like 9 a.m. and then my show jumping's been at like 9:45, and then my cross country's at like 10:45. So it's been like really quite quick, which I didn't expect.
I know,
actually,
you thought we
before
were
that,
waiting
I thought
around
it'd be
for a
like
long
2
time.
hours between each phase, which it can be, but yeah. But yeah, dressage will always be first, and if you're doing an 80 or a 90, the test is usually the same as far as I'm aware. And then after that, you'll have a bit of time, possibly, and then you've got the show jumping. Most people usually kind of keep the same outfit on, but you can get changed if you want.
For riding in?
Yeah.
Yeah. They also, quite a lot of the time, your dressage result is out before you enter the show jumping ring.
That's true,
And
actually.
a lot of the time, like, even if you don't know it yet, because, like, it gets updated online on eventingscores.com.
Yep.
Like, so it's constantly being refreshed every, like, 20 seconds or something. So, like, whenever the scores are coming in, you can keep an eye on what, like, dressage score you've got and what placing you are in your wee pod of people.
Yes, however, if it's very bad, then your friends won't tell you before you go show jumping
So
to not make you depressed.
sometimes the announcer person on the tannoy, when you're going in the show jumping, says like, this is Joanna Taylor and Corsica and Buttercups starting their show jumping on a dressage score of 49.8.
I didn't hear it properly, and then I came off and I was like, wait, did they just say 49.8? Which, by the way, if you don't know, is very bad.
Yeah, because in eventing, they take your dressage score from 100 and work down. So the lower score, the better, which confused me to begin with when we first started
I didn't know
learning
that
about
either,
eventing.
actually. And if you're getting 70% in a normal dressage, then you'd be getting about 30 in a BE dressage. So that's a minute to know.
Quick math.
So then, of course, cross country is your last phase. And you will need a skull cap for that, and your body protector, of course, and then just like other wee things that you'll need to buy is like your kind of like cross country colours.
Also, your body protector and your hat need to be up to standard. So if you're interested in like getting a new body protector or a new skull cap, or you have an old one sitting about and you're wondering if it would be useful for eventing, you will need to check the standards. It's usually on like the wee tag on the inside of the body protector, and inside the hat I'll have the pass marks on it basically, and just Google what they are, the current standards are, and you'll be able to see if your hat and body protector are safe.
Yes.
So there is a wee bit of prep, unfortunately, for eventing as well. You're not getting away from it that easily. Your horse should be platted up for the dressage, and then usually just gets kept in for the show jumping. A lot of people will take it out for the cross country. Some people leave it in, but yeah.
I think it looks smart.
You need to have them platted up for the dressage phase. And also for the dressage phase, the standard dressage clothing. You could wear tweed though, but yeah, just and then a nice stock would be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, standard, like
if you prefer the white jodhpurs, or if you prefer like beige and a tweed, like they're really not that fussy.
Yeah.
Like everyone, there's a total mix between outfits.
So people wear tweed to go and show jumping as well afterwards. So yeah, just whatever you feel comfortable in and what you like to wear out to competitions on the weekends and things like that. But then for the cross country, people like to wear a nice base layer and a cool hat silk or something like that. But it's pretty easy going there too.
Yeah, literally just kind of any base layer that you have if you're not too fussy.
Or a really cool matchy set. I don't
know. So that's all we can really think of for eventing, but it's quite a lot of information and it's a lot to take in.
And if you do have any questions, ask us, because we might know the answer. or you could ask your other friends at the event. But yeah, if you do want to ask us any questions that we haven't covered there, then obviously our DMs are always open.
Yes. So we're going to move on to showing and working hunter, which Claire knows a little bit more than I do, but we're both pretty good at it, so...
Oh, what to know for workers and showing. It is such a vast topic, like so vast. There's so much to it, so many societies and all this sort of stuff that you could cover. But obviously we're just trying to let you know the basic things that we wish we knew when we were going in.
Yeah, because it blew my mind.
Yeah, there was so much to it, and luckily I have friends who are into showing that helped me so much, but like, if I didn't have them, I wouldn't have known where to start at all. I didn't even realise at the start that, like, there are different, like, groups of horse that you need to look at your horse and think, okay, I'm going to enter this class with them. So, like, some of it is obvious. Like, if you've got a Welsh section C, like Joanna, you enter the Welsh ponies, and whatever height that she is, it'd be in, like, the 138 category of the native M&M pony class. Is that right? Is that what you entered when you were at
I believe so.
And then when you get to the likes of like sports horses and things, there usually will be like a sports horse class or X-race horse class or something like that that you might be able to enter if you have one of those types of horses. But if not, if those classes aren't available to you on the day, then there are classes such as like ridden horses, hacks, hunters and stuff like that. So you kind of have to be able to look at your horse and decipher what you think they are. With Belle, like, it's kind of hard to explain because you look at your horse in different ways, but I think Belle's like pretty fine. I have a pretty fine horse. Like, she's very delicate. She's fine. Yeah, she's a delicate, like, she's probably quite a lightweight horse, I would say. Like, she's not the smallest, but she isn't exactly a heavyweight in any meaning of the word. So a ridden horse and a hack, I think hacks are a bit smaller in general, but ridden horses are usually finer built. And then if you're looking at a hunter type, then you'd think they might be a bit stockier, kind of like Jade. Like, if I'm going to enter Jade into these classes, I'll be taking her into the hunter classes, because I think that she looks like a nice worker type. Like, she's got a lot of bone and she'd look nice out in the hunting field. But whereas Belle, she just suits kind of prancing about and looking a bit prettier, doesn't she?
Yeah, right.
So for these classes, you kind of wear a bit different things. Not wear as such, but your horse's tack would be a little bit different. For instance, when I take Belle into her classes, the ridden horse and the ridden pony classes and the hacks, they have their really pretty velvet colourful brow bands, and it's all a bit prettier and fancier. With the hunters, you have a nice plaited or just plain brow band, and with the wee ponies, with the native ponies, you'd be plated or plain as well, really. So that alongside mostly brown tack, I think, is like looked for, and
just kind of like plain, a hunter cavesson,
plain cavesson, nothing fancy, and a plain numna as well to match your saddle.
Yeah, as straight a saddle as possible as well if you can, but
but not
I just have a
GP
GP as well. It just depends on.
I've seen people win classes with jump saddles on and things. I think a lot of the time nowadays it is looked at more what your horse has to offer and what you have to offer as a rider than like what kind of tack you have on, because a lot of people can't go and buy new workers saddles, or not workers, sorry, showing saddles just to enter a few wee classes.
Yeah, of course.
So in the ridden horse and the hack classes and stuff, your horse does need to be plaited up, and if you're looking at plaiting, you should look at our plating tutorial, because it is good, because it shows how to do it with thread, which they look for because it's a lot more discreet.
Yeah, it looks a lot better, definitely. But it stays in better.
Yeah, but for the natives and stuff, they just need to be shown all natural and just how they look.
Yeah, pretty,
just a bit prettier and groomed, clean, very shiny and clean, and that's what they're looking for. And for us humans, we should be wearing tweed, a nice tweed. It doesn't need to be an expensive tweed, just something that fits you nicely and flatters you. A nice cream or yellow shirt with a tie that complements the colour of your tweed. Beige or fawn breeches and plain boots. If you're a child or you're on one of the native ponies or something, you could wear canary breeches, and children wear jawed boots. But other than that, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, you're just
clothing.
Trying to keep it like plain and smart generally, if you can.
And a velvet hat, just like a showing type hat.
Yeah, however, if you don't have a showing type hat, you can just wear your skull cap with a velvet
hat silk.
Hat silk.
Yeah,
that's the word.
That works well. That is a good So things that I really wanted to know when I started showing was what was actually going to happen when I went there, because I had no idea. Like, I know when I go show jumping, I need to learn the course, I'll warm up, and then I'll wait my turn, and then I'll just go in and jump the round of jumps. But I genuinely didn't have a clue at all
Yeah,
what was
no,
going to
neither
go
of
on
us
when I
did.
went
It
in the
was
ring. So yeah, basically
confusing.
from my experience, we all go in whatever order you want to go in, and try and position yourself where you think that your horse will stand out, and yeah, just get in a nice spot, not too crowded. Don't want everyone squished up, because your horse will just get stressed and you won't be able to show them off as much to their potential. So yeah, you'll all just be going around the outside of the ring, and the judge will say to someone in the group, whoever catches their eye, and she'll say, "Oh, trot when you feel ready." And so they'll trot, and then everyone will trot after them, and then the judge will then, after assessing you and having a look, she will then tell you to change the rein, or tell whoever to change the rein. The thing is, this time for sorting out your tack or your reins or your crop or something like that is when the judge isn't watching you. So you need to always keep your eye on the judge and make sure that you know when they're looking at you not to be losing your stirrup or sorting your reins or stuff like that. But also, biggest tip is always have a smile on your face, because it stands out for the judge. It makes it look like you're having a really nice ride and everything's easy. And
even if it's not. And
yeah,
you're not.
you just have this on your face at all times, and you'll just look like you're having a blast, which is what they like to see. So yeah, once you've trotted around on both reins, the judge will then ask you to canter, unless you're in a novice class. The good thing about showing is they mostly always have a novice class, where people that have never won a showing class before can go into this novice class and just have a go at it, and there's no cantering involved. It's just trotting, and
which is good if your horse, if you want to give it a go, but your horse gets like wound up or excited
because cantering as a group is like quite intense.
It really is.
And you have to keep them going, because you don't want to be having your horse like falling out of canter and then having to transition them up again and stuff. So like keeping them going round and round and round until the judge says stop, you're like, ah. It is hard work, so don't be mistaken thinking you don't need to be fit for showing, because you do.
Can I also add in, what is not appropriate is overtaking somebody, like just cutting in front of them or anything. What you need to do is actually like circle around and then come behind them.
Although a lot of people do cut in front of you. A lot of the bigger county shows, they will cut in front of you when the judge is looking, and it's not allowed, but if you do it subtly and discreetly enough, then, and not make it look like you're doing it, then people do that. If they think that you're their competition, they will cut in front of you, which is rubbish. Don't be that person. But yeah, it does happen.
But if you feel like you're around anybody that does that, then just circle around and go behind them. Try and get
away from them. So after you've changed your rein and trot, you'll be asked to canter, get your space, just keep on your own. Don't like be getting up anyone's bums, don't have anyone getting up your bum. It's a horrible feeling. I've been there, and it's not nice. I had a horse bronking behind me one time, like the whole time, and I just felt so tense, and Belle felt tense because she didn't know what was going on behind her. So yeah, just make sure you position yourself. And PSA again, horses that are bad mannered like that will usually get asked to leave, so it's not too much of a worry. But yeah, just kind of find your own space, and you'll have a wee canter, and then the judge might stop somebody at the end and get them to show off their extended canter. So each horse in its own turn will go up the side of the arena and show an extended canter / gallop. So you just go like flat out up the side, and then you should be able to bring your horse back to a nice calm walk, and then just keep walking after that. So yeah, I think showing a lot of the time shows like how rideable and how relaxed your horse is and calm, and how you can bring them back from like periods of like really high intense work to being chilled out and mannerly again. So usually then the judge will pull you into a lineup, and in order of who he likes best, so like first, 10th or whatever, and then each of you will show your individual show. This individual show is sometimes like already planned and told to you, given to you before you've entered, so you can learn this show. Sometimes you will just have to make it up, so it's good to have a show planned. So just basically showing a little bit of walk, a little bit of trot, a little bit of canter in your extension.
It's generally a figure of 8 with a canter on each rein, and then the extension.
So you will be asked to come in and then stand your horse square. So definitely practice that if you can't do that, because I've struggled so much with Belle. I'm kind of getting somewhere a wee bit, but not quite. Not quite where I want to be. But yeah, you will be asked to stand square, and then the judge will look your horse all over and ask you a couple of questions like how old they are, and how long you've had them and stuff like that. And then you should ideally walk away, trot back. It shows how straight your horse is, and then carry on with your show. And at the end, have a few steps of walk, square, halt, and salute to finish. Some shows, the judge will ride your horse. So as far as I'm aware, they don't do this in any pony classes or any class that a pony is in. So say you're in like a rare breed class, then and there's a pony in that class, the judge will never ride, as far as I'm aware. And yeah, sometimes when you come in before, instead really of doing your individual show, that you will dismount and then the judge will get on and then do a show that they've planned on your horse, and they will do it on every horse. And so yeah, like a lot of the time, if you're going to be really interested in showing, you should get other people to ride your horse. Make sure that your horse is rideable for other people, not just for you, because I learned the hard way, and Belle just hated the fact that somebody else got on her back and didn't really know the aids that gets her going. So it's really difficult to watch sometimes and to know your horse can go better, but at the end of the day, your horse should be able to be ridden by anybody, and that's kind of the aim of it all. So yeah.
And then another thing that is sometimes done but not always, and we don't actually know that much about this because we've not experienced it, is you may be asked to remove your horse's tack and show their conformation, like stand them square in front of the judge without tack on, and trot them up and down in hand. We've not experienced that, but that is something
yeah, I think it happens mostly at like higher level, like county shows and things like Blair. We watched that happen at the workers.
Yeah, because it was meant to be in the NPS classes as well that I was doing, but because of COVID they weren't actually stripping the horses.
So my next point is relevant whether you're doing showing or workers, and you should always try and rope one of your friends or family members into coming and being a groom for you.
It's not fun on your own.
It's not. There's so much to be done, and especially if you like are at county level shows, you will actually need a groom. Like you can't enter without one. So they'll have their little showing grooming kit or their wee basket with all your coat sheen, your bottled water if you're roasting, it's a hot day, baby wipes, this sort of stuff, and they will run on and they will start stripping your horse for you. They will start grooming your horse for you, getting rid of any slobbers and sweat marks and eye gunk and stuff like that, and getting them looking amazing. So yeah, it's really good to have someone there for you. The groom will usually always have a hat on, not like a riding hat, but like a hat, like a flat cap or a nice country hat or something like that, and a pair of boots, and look smart and look presentable, because the judge won't like to see someone like coming in their trackies and stuff like that. But yeah, so definitely try and rope your friends and family into coming with you and helping. So the next thing we're talking about is workers, which is very similar to showing in many ways, except from there's some jumps involved. So basically, the jumps are very rustic looking. They are branches, they are stiles, they are gates, things like that. Some of them have water trays, and they can be very spooky. Like a lot of places try and make them as like spooky and realistic to being out in the hunt field as possible. But it's great fun actually, isn't it? We love working hunter.
Yeah,
it's really nice. So basically, instead of show jumping where you're trying to get around as fast as possible, you're really trying to show your horse's rideability. Same with showing. So like your horse should be calm, collected. You shouldn't be getting funky strides and getting flung left, right and centre. You should be trying to keep a nice rhythm, a nice straightness, and have nice style over the jump, nice positioning, and you just should be looking neat.
Yeah, your horse should
pretty.
Be like forward and keen, like not hesitant at the jumps.
But not fleeing around like the faster the better, cause like show jumping, it's not like that. It's a lot of style you need to have when you're doing working hunter.
When you first enter the ring before jumping, it is usually proper to go up to the judge or at least give them a nod and say hello and salute.
Say good afternoon, how are you? Maybe don't actually say that, but do say good afternoon or good morning. Same kind of attire really, tweed, a nice tie, a wee tie pin, breeches.
There's a lot more leeway though for like hats and stuff. You can kind of wear
Yeah.
whatever like hat you want. Boots can be a wee bit fancier if you
Yeah.
want, and you can wear jumping tack, like they're not as fussy with your
Yeah.
tack and stuff. And different kinds of bridles. It doesn't need to be a plain cavesson. You can wear grackle or any kind of bridle,
Yeah.
really.
I think like typically they do like to see like as plain tack as possible. Same sort of thing like with the brown numna that matches your tack. Plain sticks, you don't have to have a baton or anything like that. There's no rules, but you should have a nice cane. You should be seen wearing spurs a lot of the time, I think. Even if you don't use spurs, you get dummy spurs and stuff like that. Yeah,
I don't think you do that in the pony classes though.
Oh, do you not?
No.
Interesting. You go jump your round of jumps. I don't think there's ever usually huge amounts of jumps. I think it's usually about 8 to 9 jumps that are seen. And then you finish, and depending on where you are, you do a show straight after, or sometimes you have to wait, depending. But
so if it is straight after, sometimes it can be around your jumps.
Yeah, so it's good to know that beforehand, to plan your show like around the jumps and where you're going to be doing it, because there's nothing worse than being stuck in the middle of a show and being like I've not changed the rein yet, or I've not, don't know where to gallop, and because you do need a good spread of space to be able to do that. So having jumps in the way does like cause a hindrance. So yeah, basically another, like I've said so many times, like the rideability of your horse is shown so much, because it's really hard to school your horse nicely after going round a whole round of jumps, and a lot of horses get a bit wired. And yeah, so basically when you're at home, maybe just practice a bit, like do some jumps in the middle of your schooling session, and then just continue to school nicely, and don't let them just like go to sleep straight away after jumping.
But it's not always around the jump. Sometimes they pull you into another arena with a different judge, like next door, and then you do it in there as well.
Yeah, so it's basically just the same show as what we were saying for showing. You just show your horse's best gaits for a short amount of time, a couple of minutes probably maximum. So you do a wee walk away and trot back, and then do your kind of figure of 8 and your extension, and salute to the judge when you're done, after you've square halted, or tried to anyway. So the final thing about showing and workers that we'd like to say is showing is so subjective. Like there's no right or wrong, there's no like straight winner, straight loser. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of it's very subjective.
You can be in a class with 10 horses that are all going beautifully. How do you pick? Do you know what I mean? The judge is going to just have favourite types.
Yeah, I had Belle in a class where the judge was a Welsh cob breeder, and I was thinking to myself, like, I just know that she's going to prefer the chunkier native types, and that's just what it's like. And then the next time I go, they might like the sports horse types, and it's so subjective, and so like it's just everyone's opinions basically on the day. So don't be disheartened if your horse doesn't win or doesn't get picked out in the lineup, because there's always another day and another judge.
So yeah, just keep going back and trying again. I've literally only tried showing once, so I will get back at it this year and give it a couple more goes.
I think it's really fun, because it's nice to just kind of like show your horse off for once, instead of and all the hard work like schooling and things you put in, because there's not huge amounts of disciplines that you can just go and kind of
but it is obviously like really complicated, and there's a lot to know. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys, and you can kind of go in and like have a bit more of an idea of what you're needing to do and how to prep for it and stuff as well,
because there's so much complex things to know and stuff that I don't even feel like I've needed to know yet to just have a wee taster at it. So hopefully I will learn all this stuff after more lessons and things like that, which is another thing. Try and get lessons and clinics as much as you can that are done by showing riders, so, or people that are experienced in the discipline.
Yeah, they can definitely give you a good few tips. I had a couple lessons with Richard Telford, and I don't think without them I would have even tried showing, because I just didn't know what to do at all. But yeah, he gave me a few good tips.
Fab. So yeah, there's a lot more to know, and maybe we'll do another video at a later date of more things to know if it's necessary. But this is what we thought we needed to know before we started.
Yeah, definitely.
And everything else just comes with more knowledge and of the sport, so you'll get there, and we'll get there hopefully. I
so wish a video like this existed like a year ago, because the amount of people I messaged, and I was so annoying, and I was like, can you give me another tip, and like what do you need to do with this? And so hopefully this helped a few of you, and you can feel a bit more confident about your 2022 season.
And down below, if you've got any questions, let us know. Just ask. Our DMs are always open, and definitely let us know if you give it a try, because we want to see pictures and hear stories.
So thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying. We will see you next time. Bye! Bye!